Ukraine has scrambled to reset its ties with the United States after President Donald Trump suspended military shipments to Kyiv and blinded Ukraine's missile offensive by pausing the long-standing U.S. intelligence sharing. Now, the move will have immediate effect on Ukraine's launching strikes on the Russian targets using the U.S.-supplied high-mobility artillery rocket systems, the HIMARS, or the Army Tactical Missile System, the ATACMS. According to reports, some of the Ukrainian batteries have stopped getting coordinates to launch HIMARS rockets after the intelligence cut. The wheeled HIMARS are some of the best artillery systems in the world. The United States supplied more than 40 Lockheed Martin-made HIMARS rocket launchers to Ukraine. 2 of them have been destroyed by the Russians. Well, let's tell you more about the HIMARS. It consists of a medium-sized tactical truck loaded with 6 227mm GPS-guided rockets. It has a range of 69 to 499 plus kilometer, though Ukraine has lower range version. The rocket is 13 feet long and each rocket has a 200-pound high explosive warhead. The GPS guidance ensures that each rocket can land within 16 feet of the designated aiming point. According to experts, now Ukraine seems to have 2 options. Either keep the HIMARS for good and face serious loss on the front line, or find another source of rockets from other allies. The United Kingdom, Germany, Italy and France have sent Ukraine 25 tracked M270 launchers with HIMARS like firepower, but their ammunition stocks have never been as high as the American arsenal. Ukraine also has fired US-supplied missiles at targets inside the Russian territory, after the Biden administration allowed Ukraine to use long-range missiles inside Russia. Now, the ATACMS have a range of 165 kilometers to 300 kilometers. It is a long-range surface-to-surface artillery weapon system that the United States has used in several wars. The nearly 4-meter-long missile can be launched from the high-mobility artillery rocket system and multiple launch rocket system M270 platforms. It can carry a single warhead of 160 to 560 kilograms. Now, the warhead can carry 300 to 950 submunitions. It uses a single-stage solid propellant for launch. Washington also delivered a total of 31 Abrams, the most advanced U.S. heavy tanks, beginning in January of 2023. But according to a New York Times report, 19 of these tanks have either been destroyed, disabled or captured. Many of them were targeted by drones, following which nearly all of the others have been taken off the front lines. Well, we are now joined by Oleksiy Goncharenko. Mr. Goncharenko is a member of the Ukrainian parliament and president of the PACE Committee on Migration, Refugees and Internally Displaced Persons. He's joining us live from Ukraine. Good to have you with us on the show today. Donald Trump's stopping of military aid, now it has had a considerable impact on the US-made high-mobility artillery rocket systems, the HIMARS. Now, the US has supplied more than 40 of these, the Lockheed Martin-made HIMARS rocket launchers to Ukraine. 2 of them have been destroyed by the Russians. Now, given Russia's persistent offensive, what are Ukraine's options from here on?
Yeah, it's very difficult for us to lose American military support. That is really vital. And we hope that American administration and President Trump will reconsider. I want to tell you, we completely support peace efforts, and we want to have peace as soon as possible. And President Trump was very clear that he wants to achieve this, and we are completely in line with him about this. The problem is that by suspending or pausing of military support to Ukraine, President Trump is putting under risk the possibility that Russia will go to negotiation table. Putin feels himself emboldened, and emboldened Putin and his allies, North Korea, Iran, China, In this case, they will not move to any peace, but they will continue the war. So I think that peacemaking efforts of President Trump should be accompanied by at least, maybe not on the same level, but at least continuation of keeping Ukrainian army afloat in this war, because in other case, Russia will never want to have peace. They will try just to finish Ukraine.
This particular step by Donald Trump, this step in particular, well, it has the U.S. Democrats worried as well. They say that this is rather dangerous and reckless to stop the military aid to Ukraine. Governments in Europe are fearful of an emboldened Russia because of that. Do explain to us how dangerous it can get, and what is the roadmap from here on? Can this step be retracked? Can the military aid be continued, rather, to Ukraine from here on?
No, it's just a decision of one man. So Mr. Trump can reconsider his decision, and the flow of weapons can continue. And intelligence is even more important, as you told your viewers a lot about this. So it's absolutely possible. I want to be clear with you. I mean, Russia started this full-scale invasion, and Ukraine stopped Russia 3 years ago without any Western support. So we stopped Russia ourselves in February, March 2022. So will we receive Western support or not? We will continue to fight, because Russia is trying to just destroy us completely. They are committing genocide against Ukrainians on the occupied territories. So it's existential threat for us. But without this support, the price will be tens of thousands of people killed by Russia, maybe hundreds of thousands. So that would be a huge, huge price. And this is a very bad scenario. So we need to do everything we can to take the United States back on board and to have their support.
And what would that mean, Mr. Goncharenko? What are the steps that Ukraine is going to take to ensure that to happen?
I think we should be very clear with President Trump. We want peace. We support his efforts in peacemaking. We should just be clear what this peace should look like, because we don't agree for surrender, because there is no reason for us to surrender, but we want to have peace, even if it will mean that part of our territories will be for some time still illegally controlled by Russians. Right. That's all. That's what we need to tell, and I hope that President Trump will hear us.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Goncharenko, for joining us on the broadcast today.